Hi, this is Eric. Welcome to a cartoon whiteboard video of Beautiful and After. This is pretty much taken right out of the pages of my book, Salon and Spa Success. In this video, I wanted to use a light-hearted, different format to show how what we say and how we say it can really affect the guest in our chair. The example of word crafting here is looking at hair color when it goes a little darker than we wanted. It doesn't always happen, but it has happened, can happen, and will happen again. And knowing how to handle a situation when color goes too dark can help make the difference between a nightmare situation and one that's handled smoothly. A lot of this is funny but true. Your guest is sitting there in the chair, and sometimes they're reading a magazine, sometimes they're playing on their phone, sometimes they sit and they look at the mirror and they scare themselves, and you try not to let it scare you when they look at their hair and they think, is this color supposed to be this dark? And there are things you can say to ease the situation. They're sitting there staring at it. The colorist could say something along the lines of, well, what you're seeing is the color oxidizing, and that makes it look darker than it really is. And that's not a lie. Oxidizing. At the shampoo bowl, when the stylist can see the color and the guest can't, the stylist might be thinking, wow, this really does look dark, and just don't let your face say that. You have to keep your expression pretty calm and cool. But this is when the guest's hair can be shampooed with a clarifying shampoo to try and lighten the color a little bit. It should work in theory, but it really seldom does. After you shampoo and you walk back over to the chair, if you don't necessarily have time to do anything right now, chemical-wise, if it is too dark, with finesse, what you say can really affect, the end result. If a guest is looking at their wet hair in the mirror and saying, this looks really dark, then a great comparison that you could compare it to, it would be like a pair of jeans. You could say, well, it's just like when you wash denim. It looks dark when it's wet, and it lightens as it dries. And that should calm them down a little bit and buy you some time to dry the hair and look at it. And hopefully it'll lighten up enough to make them happy and you happy. After the hair is dry, if they're still saying, this looks really dark, the stylist might try to convince the guest that you're used to seeing a lighter color. It's a little bit of shock to see a darker color. You will get used to this rich, fabulous color. Always use those great words to describe when you're talking about color and make it sound great and fabulous and wonderful. In time, it will fade slightly the more you shampoo it. You don't want them to go home and wash their hair 50 times. That's no good. It will lighten up some on its own. They're not used to seeing such a dark color. And ultimately, in the end, you might have to say, just give me a call. We can do something to lighten it up. Use a hooded dryer, use a soap cap, some bleach, a lightener, do something along those lines. Looking at the things that can be said and the things you can do can help you out and save some time and keep your guest calm and make it a good situation in the end. Well, and that pretty much brings this video to a close. This is Eric from Beautiful and After. Thanks for tuning in and checking out the station. Go ahead and hit subscribe and like this video if you like it. I need some encouragement to keep making more. Write some comments about what works for you in your business, in your salon. You might be a nail tech, a hairdresser, a masseuse. We can all help each other out, and check out salonandspa success.com. So thanks guys, and see you later.